Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, you already know I'm the one training fighters. I'm the one having to go up, down, left, right, all around the place. But be sure that Spencer Fearon will continue to come late. I'm the one who's supposed to be tired. Don't try coming now. Right, why are you trying to come in now? Bruv, the thing started. Look at the little old man. Bruv, and I keep telling you, stop having boxing on in the background because they're going to mash up the thing.
Listen, stop your noise. 1 second as well. I've got to go get the lamp. Remember, I've got to break my fast, and that's why.
So where you come on the thing for then? Where you come on the thing?
I just wanted to see a shiny face. And also, I had a very, very good conversation with Shane Watson. Very good conversation with him.
Okay.
Yeah. It was. Yeah, I mean, it was a decent conversation. So to say the least, yeah, you got me there. Boom, boom, boom. It was a decent conversation. So I'm just gonna break my fast.
Big up, Shane. You should have told him to come on out. I said I was.
No. You know what? He was very emotional. He was very emotional, and he was like, everybody's taking shots and everybody's taking digs at Joe Joyce right now. So he's very emotional. I remember he's young also as well. You know what I mean? And I could and I feel for them. I feel for them. But you know what I mean, this game is what it is. But it's like on certain people, I don't want to see certain people being wise after the fact. You know what I mean? You want to be wise after the fact, this and that. I don't believe nobody expected Joe Joyce to come in second best, as he did. But the game is the game. Anyway, I'm going to break my fast quickly, and then so you can be entertained by the lovely Tundi. Your arms are getting big, you know.
Come on.
No, your arms are getting big. Why not just punch you in your face?
Bro, wait, where's my donuts? Joe forgot his donuts in my car, bro. I'm going to show you how many donuts I left. Joe tried to forget his celebration donuts in my car. Look how many donuts I left. Money.
Tundi,
donuts I left. You can't leave Krispy Kreme donuts in my car and think that they're going to be remaining 24 hours later.
You are craven. But yeah, I'm going to go boom and set up the sips. I'll be back in a second.
All right. I'll see you soon, my man. So, ladies and gentlemen, let us start the show in the magical words of dream it, believe it, become it.
Come on up. I ain't gone yet. Come on up. Big up yourself, everyone.
What are you coming on the thing for? You
just told
us that you're breaking your fast and you're still there.
I am breakable. Just be quiet.
Get out of here, man. Get out.
Tundi, you're eating too many steaks, bro.
Yeah, from Sukra. Big up Sukra, brand new restaurant and shisha bar over the O2 in Greenwich, London. Fantastic spot, venue. I encourage everyone to go and taste their lovely food. The messe, I think it's called messe. I can never pronounce it properly. It's nice. It's all nice. So get over there, Sukra, at the O2, London. Anyway, hold on 1 minute, people. I'm very sorry, people, for that. Anyway, yeah, don't worry. We're back. Sorry, this is what I'm trying to say. This is what happens when you got live live TV. This is what happens. Oh my god. It's Spencer's fault. If Spencer didn't come on the thing saying outside John Card, if Spencer didn't come on the thing and just telling us that he's breaking his fast, all this wouldn't be happening. Anyway, let me say again, dream it, Believe it, become it, come on up, as Spencer would say. Now, last night we witnessed um, a shock to many, but I feel those inside boxing, maybe it's not a shock to them. We all expected Joe to win because Joe's our guy, Jollof Joe as I call him, the Juggernaut, as he's otherwise known as. But it was just for me a disappointing night. I really wanted to see Joe really dominate this guy and eventually stop him. But as I said prior to the fight, that this was really the first pure boxer, someone like Joe, who won the 2000 who got a silver medal in the 2016 Rio de Janeiro Olympic Games. I think Zhang, if I'm not mistaken, got a silver medal in the 2008 Olympic Games. I think, but it just looked like a night where, I was my eyeballs raised at the weigh-in of how light Joe looked, how lean Joe looked. And I think that he didn't look strong in there. Joe didn't look strong. Sometimes you can hear the punches that Joe was throwing. They definitely sounded loud, but it just wasn't, and this is not really making any excuses. It didn't look like the Joe that we're used to seeing. But again, everyone is always wise after the event. But I don't know. The words really is difficult for me because I just want to see Joe do well because he's a fighter. He's a fighter. He's always willing to take on the biggest challenges, regardless of what's next or what's in front of him. Let's not forget, Joe was next in line. But now we're hearing that Dubois could get the Usyk fight. Joe was not prepared to sit around waiting to have a contest, and he chose to take on a very, very dangerous, accomplished fighter with only one defeat on his record, and some would say he didn't even lose that fight. But there's a lot of things we need to discuss in terms of what next for Joe, what he could have done better. I see a lot of comments up here, which I'm going to really get into before my co-host comes back. First question is from, I think it's Philip Answer. He said, "What's good, Tunde? I want to big up Joe Kadua on his performance last night. You have a star in the making." You mean another star in the making, Philip? Because we already got, AY as a star already. But I'm going to say it. I've said it here before. I don't like to overhype young professionals in the embryonic stage of their career because I just know how long this journey is and how many, challenges physically and mentally they have to deal with on the way up. So it's not about, putting too much pressure on them. And I feel Joe's performance, I was saying to Mr. Bobby Wright last night or this afternoon, that for me, especially when you look at Joe's first fight, this was an excellent performance. The way Joe came out, Joe was moving like Sugar Ray Leonard, Clay Jones Jr., Floyd Mayweather in one. And he was enjoying himself in there. And in the third round, and Joe, this is how you know when a man watches too much Floyd Mayweather. He's like, "I win that round, Unc. I felt like slapping him in his face. You win that, bro." Of course he won the round. But yeah, congratulations to Joe Kadua, JFK last night. Bro, I can't wait for this journey to keep unfolding. And, it is. People really think about the end goal. But the excitement is the now. It's the journey. This is the thing. When you get there, when you get all the accolades or whatever, yeah, you got it. But all these little things on the way up is what counts. And so fantastic performance by Joe last night. But let's move to another JOE Juggernaut Joe Joyce. And let us discuss that contest. One more from Luke and Tunde. If you were alluding to Joe's weight, the reason he lost, we are not addressing the elephant in the room. Absolutely not. But let me tell you something. Joe Joyce was coming in against someone that was much bigger than him, and we're not used to seeing Joe look in that condition. We're used to seeing Joe very big, very bold, and ready for war. And I feel that we're not. It's not a question that we don't have to, put into the mix. Joe looked weak in there. He looked weak like a kitten to Wrigley's. He looked weak like a kitten. No, that's just a fact. Joe looked as weak as a kitten last night. And that is a main thing, Spence. It's a main issue. At the weigh-in, Joe looked like a middleweight. His structure.
And
sorry, because we were there, I was there. TV, you get a perspective, but when you're real life, you get another angle and perspective. And Zilly Zhang was pushing Joe off. When he was pushing him off. And I'm like, nah, that ain't really. Joe was looking slower. I don't that. It just never seemed right to me, Spence. But go on.
Tundi. I remember on the day when we spoke. No, the day before, because I don't like disturb me on fight days. And we were saying, boy, and I'm about this Zhang brother. And I was saying, yeah, but you know what? To be real, Joe Joyce should just be able to wear him down, because I've seen Zhang get tired in fights. I remember one fight where they had to give him oxygen, ton.
They had to give him oxygen.
They had to give Zhang oxygen in the fight. He was breathing so hard. No, I'm telling you the truth. So I wasn't looking at like Zhang like to be no big worrying threat to turn.
No. They gave him oxygen while he was in the fight.
Now after the fight done, he was breathing hard. They had to give him oxygen.
Sorry. I shouldn't be laughing, but it's funny to me. Guy, carry on.
So I get on certain things, and it's just like I was saying prior to the fight, a lot of the energy, see Jermaine Williams knows, a lot of the energy was given of the fact of this anti-Joshua thing and blah and all the rest of it. And I'm saying, and this is where we had a very heated discussion about 10 minutes ago, me and Shane Watson, who works for Joe. And he said, but Spence, but you said like we was totally concentrating on our fight. We wasn't overlooking Zhang. And I said, well, he shouldn't have answered those questions, because they come to him and they ask him about the anti-Joshua thing, right? And he said, and now me, this is where you need a manager around you, because I know no one couldn't go to Anthony Yard and ask him about no next fight after you're concentrating on a fight in particular and you be there. You say, look, don't ask that question. I know you can, right? That weren't the case. And yes, I do understand that Joe Joyce, I've known him for years. I know his family. Joe Joyce is a cool, humble guy. But what I'm trying to say is like, don't lose your focus on where you're meant to be going, because that was deliberate on their side that, all right, let's announce this tournament thing, or let's leak out this tournament thing on a week of Joe Joyce's fight. These things always happen. Just like when Anthony Joshua got something coming up, Tyson Fury will cover something. This is just a game. But what I'm saying is like, you shouldn't have bought into that energy. You said, no, I haven't got time. And they was also doing it on a negative, because they're talking about when he got stopped. He got stopped by Joshua. So all these kind of things, I'm saying, why would you want? I don't want to hear none of them talk there. You're emphasizing on the negative. I would have entertained that. So it wasn't by no way a slant on Joe Joyce, but things do go wrong, and we saw yesterday that things actually went wrong for him. I don't know what Joe. That's not the Joe Joyce that I know. I don't know Joe Joyce like that.
How do we know Joe was focusing on those things, Spence?
No, Tundi, from the time you entertain it and a man's talking about when Anthony Joshua stopped you in the amateurs and you're talking about that fight week, I don't want to, come on, Tundi, let's be real.
Yeah, I mean, it's Joe's not the one asking the questions. He was the one answering.
I totally understand that, Tundi.
Yeah.
I totally understand that. But at that time there, you're meant that you should have had someone there and say, listen, we're not entertaining that. At the time because I don't know the relationship with Sam Jones. I know it's still Sam Jam, but I don't know. Well, Sam Jones wasn't there.
Is he managing him? No, he's not.
I don't even know the coup, but I know Shane Watson handles the day-to-day running of Joe Joyce. At that time there, I would have liked to see someone like Shane Watson say, listen, we ain't got time, or we ain't got time to be entertaining those talk. That's long time. I don't want that talk right now.
Yeah, I mean, listen. Thank you, Alexander Wilson, for the
And
$20.
1 second, I'm munching now.
Get out of here, man. But it's this guy. He's so unprofessional. It's unbelievable. Alexander Wilson, thank you for the $20. Nez of the Boxing Voice grew up with Zhang's trainer, Sean George, who I became friends with at the public weigh-in. Me and
He's a
Sean.
good trainer, you know, Ton.
Bro, get out of the thing, man. You're just telling us that you're not here now.
I'm here, but I don't want people to see me eating food, Tunde.
Bro, get out of here, man.
What do you mean get out? You get out. You get out of here, man. You get out. You get
Bro,
out of here.
let me finish what I'm saying. What's about
Cool,
it?
then.
Anyway, Alexander Wilson, thank you for the $20. Nez of the Boxing Voice grew up with Zhang's trainer, Sean George, who KO'd Chris Bird as a pro. Said that he is an amazing coach and knows how to develop, that's supposed to be develop fighters. Look at Zhang from Jerry Forrest to Joyce. He was calling the upset. And thank you for the $20, Alexander. I think the greatness of Sean George is that to me, he wasn't even talking about the Zhang fight. He was more talking to me about Yard and how he's been watching me and Yard all the way through. But I can hear by his excitement that it was a coach. He was a coach that was really, really into his own sport and the development. So big up Sean George. I know the trainers don't usually get the credit they deserve. So congratulations to Sean and his victory last night. Going back to Joe Joyce, I was saying, Spence, that I don't think Joe was even concentrating on all of that. Obviously, Joe is one of those great students which really just listen to the advice of the people that's closest to him, and he follows it. But last night it looked as though he's never fought a southpaw in his life, or never trained against a southpaw. And I know that's not true because Joe was an Olympian, so he's obviously, and even in the GB camp, I think Richie Woodall may have trained or had something to do with the development of Joe in the amateurs. And I'm sure, Richie Woodall, again, would have taught Joe how to deal with a lefty. And this was my problem, or this was my issue going into the fight, that I've never seen Joe against a southpaw. He may well have fought one in his professional career, but I personally haven't seen him. And I just, it's like all the time, you're always worried about the backhand of the southpaw. And this guy was so clever, Chinese power, big up Zhang, Zilly Zhang, that he was kind of like walking Joe onto the left hand all the time. All the time he was walking Joe onto the left hand, and just Joe couldn't get out of the way. So I'm gonna, it'd be great to speak to Joe. He said after the fight, again, another touching moment with his mum coming into the shop with Gareth A. Davis, and his mum was saying about, Dubois fought 10 rounds, and Joe said, no, it's different, mum. But even these kind of things, boxing is so emotional. Big up JFK in the building. Joe could do it's gym tomorrow. So don't take all this fame and adulation.
Hey, Joe, I bet you're coming on. You want to put some Snapchat money in the thing?
Spencer saying, put some Snapchat money after last night. But we're in the gym tomorrow. Straight continuation. Big up Mo host Hassan. Thank you for the $4.99, sir. He said, I think you're being unfair to Zhang. Joe just wasn't good enough. Joe was getting tagged in the Parker fight as well, but Parker didn't carry the power. Again, we're not being unfair to Zhang. We absolutely, again, I said it. The guy's an Olympian, an accomplished Olympian, a silver medalist. No one isn't. But, and I do agree with you in some respects. Sometimes we talk about the defeat of opponents, overlooking how good Zhang was. But I think it's because so many people expected it to go the other way. But we cannot overlook Zhang. I said it in the interview. It's absolute disrespect to call Zhang a journeyman. And all those comments prior to the fight, now people have to realize that most of these, I don't know, the bots or these people that comment really don't know nothing about boxing. It's boxing at the top flight. Everybody's got a chance, especially when they've got amateur pedigree like Zhang has. So Zhang, fair play to him. But I still believe Joe can. I still believe Joe Joyce can come back and get the victory over this guy. Spence, it's very upsetting for me. There weren't no head movement. It was just, bro. It just, and another thing, I'm just gonna keep it real. Again, I'll never disrespect trainers and stuff like that. And I know how it is.
Do the juggernaut. Do the juggernaut.
Spence, what's the matter with you, bro? Manny, talk to Spencer. Talk to Spencer. Yeah, I was right there in his corner. I was in Joe's corner, and that's all I kept on hearing. Do the juggernaut. Do the juggernaut. Now I don't hear no one talking about that. But when it's me, again, it wasn't even me. But when it's my team, it will. If it's my team, it is me. When man shouting lines in the camp, I don't hear the same thing now being said about do the juggernaut, do the juggernaut. You get what I'm saying? So again, it's some good for the goose, good for the gander business. See, do the juggernaut was probably something that they have been using in camp to motivate the fighter. And what that means to the fighter is specific. So when man shouting lines in the camp and everyone's mocking it, why are you not mocking do the juggernaut, do the juggernaut? How comes I can't hear no one chatting about that? Yeah, how you like that one? Well, sorry. This is I'm not dissing Joe or Shane or anyone. You know what I'm saying? But it's not good for the goose, good for the cannabis. So I want to know, what does do the juggernaut mean? Because it obviously has some meaning. Maybe a code for something tactical. No, it's definitely a code. But no one ain't mocking it the way they mocked us or the way they mocking us. Yeah. So again, we've got to be very careful when dealing with certain. When dealing with, hold on, Tundi, you're from Pex. Yeah, again, I'm from Pex. It's different. You wasn't supposed to be in that position, but you know you got there. All right, big up, John. You know the set. Yeah, dream it, believe it, become it. But let's go back to this whole Joe thing, and let's talk about how good ZHANG was, and then let's move on to what next for Joe, what next for ZHANG, and where does this leave? In what state does this leave the heavyweight division? And what fights do we want to see next? I think we're going to go straight to that question. What fights do we want to see next in the heavyweight division? So I'll be looking for some comments up there in the Snapchat while Spencer is still breaking his fast. 20 minutes in. Victor says he wants to see Chisora ZHANG. Brother, I think that's a bit unfair. You got all these young dogs coming up. And then look, I don't want to see. I personally don't want to see Chisora in these type of fights no more. I want to see like a celebration fight of all the greatness that has happened in his career. Chris R says AJ Wilder. That is a very good fight. Boxing Hub says ZHANG White. And personally, from what I'm hearing from certain individuals, I think that may be the next fight. That may be the next fight. ZHANG against Dillian White. And I was sitting next to Dillian last night, and I'll be so happy if Dillian gets that fight. I'll be so happy if Dillian gets that, because that gets him right back in the mix.
Well, Tundi, you know, ZHANG has just asked he wants to fight Tyson Fury in China.
Okay.
And no, there's 1 billion Chinese out there. You just get 1% of pay-per-view. Yeah? At £10 or $10, right? And that's 100 million. So you go think about that. So that's crazy on the money that can be generated for them man out there. And he's big business now. And that win was a very good win, Ton. Right? It was a very good win. But I think they've got the rematch in September. I spoke to Shane Watson.
Yes.
And he's adamant that they're going to take it and that they're going to come out victorious.
Yeah, I believe so. I do believe it. A lot of people are thinking that Joe can't. I mean, Gareth A. Davis asked me last night, how does Joe beat ZHANG? You know, and I I'll be honest with you. Joe was getting in the fight. He was getting into the fight, but it was just the eye. The eye was just getting worse and worse and worse. And as soon as
But Tony got wobbled in the second round. There's nothing wrong with his eye then.
no, Spence, believe me, when you're sitting right there and you literally see every second going past and the eye getting worse and worse and worse, and I was like, when Howard Foster went for the second time, I think it was the second, or they called it first to look at it. Then the second time over, I was sitting next to one of Joyce's supporters. He was shouting his head off, and I looked at Howard Foster. I said to his friend, he's going to stop the fight 1,000,000%, because Howard Foster done that little head shake and it was all over.
I know, but Tony, what I'm saying is this. In round 2, he gets wobbled with a straight left hand. He gets hurt with it, right? And it kind of spun him. His eye wasn't gone then. You know what I mean? And that's because, like, even though Joe Joyce has his hands up high, there is a...
Joyce has his hand up high.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying to you. But there's not a lot of technical prowess, defensive prowess behind it.
Joyce never had his hand up high, Spence. That's why he was getting clapped with a straight left.
Yeah, I know. But I'm saying that. But there's certain times where he's kept his hands up. His hands weren't up high, and you cannot be trading. This is the thing that I'm saying again. You can constantly say you're trading on this toughness, like me and you were saying. It's only going to last for a little piece. Yeah, I mean, it's like a computer game. The energy can run out, and that's what's happened.
I mean, all that sounds all good, but I just think that Zhang was a good boxer. I said it, Spence, in the build-up. Zhang is a good and he's a lefty. He's a lefty. Technically, is a good fighter, and the left hand was all they really, in my opinion, all they needed to worry about, or that was the main specific. But when he started to fling combinations at the speed he was throwing them, I was like, yeah, this guy is not a joke. He's not a joke. And it didn't really look like Joe was hurting him, but I could sense that the fitness was starting to play, you know, and that's why I said 8-10, Joe's going to chop him down and win. So I think there's going to have to be another game plan moving into the fight, because Joe did start well in terms of moving to his right, you know, which is not really how they teach people to fight southpaws, but it was working. But having said that, even from the first round, he was getting clipped, straight right. And I think there was one time when he went bam, then bam, again 3 times, at least 2. And I'm like, yeah, this guy is really knows what he's doing. So what next for Zhang, Spence?
Realistically, because it's contracted for him to get a rematch, to him to give a rematch, and is it enough time for Joe Joyce to heal the eye, right, and get mentally in tune to go back in there for this rematch? That's me keeping it 100.
Can Joe change at the age of 37? He'll be 38 in September.
I believe so. Because I also believe, you see, he's doing that Capolero business and all that. So he's a very athletic man. Yeah. But I think the problem is that not even a problem. So I do believe that he can change things, because he's got it in him to do things, right? But I think he's just setting his ways, like, I'm going to stick to this. Like I was saying, Islington Boys Club, I'm going back 1990, 92. There's a guy called Chris Henry, who was the super heavyweight London champion in the ABAs. Very similar style to Joe Joyce. Like, it would just come forward and he was fit. When I mean the guy was fit, he was fit. You speak to all the old timers, they'll remember him. Steve Bunce would definitely remember this guy. And Joe Joyce is very reminiscent of him. Like how he marauding and he marched forward and he's fit and he's relentless and he's not a concussive hitter, but his punching power like zaps you. He's got that zapping punching power. But if you're not landing and you're throwing your hands, you know what I mean, slowly, you could get a guy from a southpaw position that can double jab you. And that's what we've seen with Zhang. Zhang's a big dude, was double jabbing, frying right hooks off of the jab, coming down with a straight power shot, left hand down the pike. I would say for Joe Joyce, he head movement needs to be employed, right? And feints. There's no feints from Joe Joyce. You need to feint to trick man, especially a southpaw, so you can trick him, so you can throw your left hook. Because a lot of people say like, oh, the shot for a southpaw is the right hand down the pike. Yeah, it is, but left hooks are very, very effective with southpaws. And
Just look at what our brother Denzel Washington done. Denzel Ben.
no, Tony, we should phone
last
Denzel.
night.
You know, we should give
We're gonna
Denzel
touch on
flowers, 'cause that was vicious.
Denzel. Mr. Denzel after in a minute. But thank you, Miss Ringside, for the 1999. She is in the building. She said all the talk of JJ, or that probably, oh yeah, JJ fighting the top 5. Do you guys really think he's ready? He showed a lack of experience yesterday, but was it the fact that his previous opponents have been smaller and shorter in height? Fantastic question. I'll read that one more time, Miss Ringside. All the talk of Joe Joyce fighting the top 5. Do you guys really think he's ready? Question mark. He showed a lack of experience yesterday, but was it the fact that his previous opponents have been smaller and shorter in height? Spencer Fearon.
No. I think the other guys who came out to fight Joe Joyce believed that they could win. And when they got in there and knew the task ahead of them, it was very difficult for them. This man totally believed that he was going to win the fight to him.
For real. So hold on, yeah. Question, Manny's put it up here. Spence, do you want to read that or let me read it? Do you think Moses Itoma, who is a southpaw, would be a good fight against Joyce, or too early for him? No, it's way too early for him. But I'll tell you something.
Who asked that question? Manny.
Wait. Zach.
Who asked that question? Manny asked that question.
Yeah, Manny. Yeah, right. Yeah. It's a good question. I think it would be too early for Moses, but it would definitely be good preparation for the rematch. Definitely, because Moses, I watched him last night personally live for the first time, and I was clapping. You know, he had to dig it in because he had an injured hand. He hurt his hand early in the fight by hitting, you know, these tough journeymen. You hit them at the top of the head, and you can mash up your hand. But
what can you do to your hand, Tundi?
Say that again.
What can you do to your hand?
Mash up your hand.
What kind of language is this about?
You know what I'm talking about. You can hurt your hands by hitting journeymen because they definitely got tough skulls. And if you don't hit the right place properly, you can injure your hand. And he did last night. But I was very impressed with how much guile and determination and boxing skills he showed after injuring his hand. And I said to Francis, who manages Moses, I said, this is a very, very good fight for young Moses. In fact, personally, being 18 years old, I wouldn't even move him up to 6 round level yet. I would just keep him at 4 round level. Just build up the fights like a young Canelo. Get those fights. Get those 40 fights. So that by the time he's 21, he's already 40 fights in. That's how you build, man. This is how you build these young kids at 18 years old. So I'm giving away the game plan for Francis there. So, you know, it's no shame letting him build as a 4-round fighter and maybe not putting that much pressure on him. Oh, here we go. We hear the plates in the background from Spencer. Bro, mute your thing. Mute it. I'm going to mute it for you because Spencer ain't got no cap. Man, wearing man's plates in the background. Nonsense. But yeah, hold on. You know what? Let me see if that. Hold on, wait there. Let me see what going. What going, Dens?
He's in.
Bro, you got a few minutes.
Yeah. Oh, were you on the show?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a couple minutes. So I'm just getting ready to go out, but I got a couple minutes still.
All right, cool. I'm gonna send you the link. Yeah.
All right, cool.
Yes. The now proud owner of the Lonsdale belt, Denzel Bentley last night put in a spectacular performance, Spence. We're going off subject, but
No,
we
we're
can't
not.
forget the
That
man
was
them.
we're not because it would be remiss not to talk about Denzel Bentley. What he did yesterday, Ton.
Jesus Christ. Listen, the performance, mate, what a performance. Listen, and I went in, the thing is, I went in and spoke to Denzel, just wished him all the best about an hour or so before he was fighting. And then I went back literally just before he walked out. And Spence, I'm telling you, the seriousness on his face. I said, yeah, this guy is going in for war. No joking about. And it was just fantastic. I'm just messaging Denzel now. I'm sending him the link. It was just such a performance, such a blowout, and you can see the shell shock on my man's face. That opponent, I don't even know his name, but all I know that I don't even know the guy's name, but all I know that the guy had only lost one fight, and he obviously I saw him at the public workout, and he was looking kind of all right. He was looking kind of all right, but it just shows. We talk about Chinese power, but last night that was GH power, Ghana power. And I gave Denzel's mum the hug, and she said, yes, my son, my son is not to take punishment. We finished the fight quick.
You know what it is? I'll tell you the nice thing. I'll even tell you what I'll tell Denzel when he comes on.
Just hold it right there. Sorry, Spence. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce to you the magnificent, the spectacular, the one, the only, man looking like Burner Boy. Man looking like Burner Boy. I thought it was Burner Boy in the ring last night. The one, the only, Mr. Denzel, 2 Sharp. Could call him 5 Sharp after last night. Bentley, come on.
Hey.
Denzel, listen to me. What we saw there, that was 2 razor sharp. What we saw yesterday, because and you know what? I just believe it's like since going out, coming second best in the world title, I think you are now really claiming your position. Like, listen, this is my belt. This is mine, and I can see that dominance. And I got to say, that's congratulations again to you, my friend.
No, thank you, man. Thank you.
Sorry, Jermaine Williams said Denzel broke up in blood clot. sorry, bro. You know this is a real show. So I know with Denzel's embarrassed, but I'm just, bro, man has to keep this thing real. Again, this show ain't censored. Man can say what they want. I don't business. We it's horses for courses. But sorry to cut you. Come on.
Denz, how do you feel after your performance? How do you feel?
I feel good, I feel good. Like I wanted to make a statement. I ain't gonna lie to you. I didn't expect him to go out that soon, but I got a highlight reel knockout. And listen, I ain't complaining, man. This is the first time in a long time I've had a fight and I'm not aching the next morning. So listen, I'm more than happy.
Denzel, I mean, now you're the proud owner of the Lonsdale belt. A feat and achievement that not many make in the sport. How does that make you feel to know that that belt now belongs to you? It's not going back to the board. It's your belt, one that you and your family can be proud of.
It feels good, man. It feels like something I've worked hard for. Like I've been holding that belt since 2021 or 2020 rather. I lost it in 21, won it back in 22. So it's like it's a back and forth journey with this belt. You know what I'm saying? Went over to world level, came back, defended it again. It's like I was meant to have this before I could do anything else, and I feel like that was really the key point in this. Like I remember when I first won it, I was saying in the interview yesterday, and Mum was like, "Oh yeah, the belt's yours," and I'm like, "Mum, I got to defend this 3 times. That's kind of long." And she's like, "Nah, trust me, it's yours, and I'm like, you know what, you're right still, but I'll give it to her and my dad, and they can just pull it in the house in Ghana or something, frame it and pull it up in Ghana, man.
Come on, listen. Me and your mum get joke at ringside, Denz. I'm telling you. Your mum is like, yes, I told you, my son is not to take punishment. Come on, we going home. We going home. I'm like, man, yeah, this thing at auntie. I'm so happy now, trust me. And I know you got to rush, Denzel, but I got to say it. Like, you're one of the most humble guys in the sport. You know, a champion. You carry the belt well. You carry yourself well. And yeah, I don't hear you having anything disrespectful to say about anyone. I never have. And the way your parents, your mum has brought you up, it's really it's big because, you know, we all come from certain areas. We all come from the same block, and you're representing. And believe me, last night I went out. I ain't been out for years. As I come in the building, bare celebrity status then. Bare, I thought I was Spencer Fearon. And like everyone in that team, trust me, fam. Like, we're so happy. And I know it's the same for you. Like, there's so many people that have seen you and have been motivated and inspired to do the right thing. That's the main thing. So please keep the same energy. Don't change. Keep being what you are, and it's working for you, Denz.
Before you go, Denzel, what's next for you, champ? After that emphatic win last night, what's next for you?
You know what? Yeah, there's loads of options, man. What I want, listen, I don't want to be anything in this game but a world champion, man. So I'd like to go for the European next and make that step, and then eventually, you know, I think, like I was saying yesterday, the two active champions, you know, that are defending their title are Janebek and Lara. Both southpaws. I've been working with southpaws. I just love to keep on that southpaw side until I get to fight one of them guys. But I'd like to go for the European next, essentially, and just get one of those two guys, like, by the end of the year, early next year. I know it feels like I'm rushing, but, you know, I'm just that confident in myself. I feel like I could beat Janebek. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like I could beat Lara as well. Lara's a great fighter, but he is aging. He's getting older, and I think I'm getting better every single fight I have, and every camp I have. I'm knuckling down. I'm learning. I'm maturing in myself. I'm not, like, even though yesterday was a quick knockout, it wasn't rushed. Like, even when I had him hurt, I thought about going to the body first and coming back up. Like, it wasn't just like, throw your hands and let the ref jump in. It was like, oh, he's gone. Wait, hold on a sec. Set it up. But it's all quick fingers. So I'm just thinking I'm maturing in myself. My skill level is getting better. My way around the ring is getting better. Even the way I started, I just took my time. I let him throw a shot first so I could feel his power on the gloves and see his speed and his awkwardness, because obviously he had that little bit of height against me. As soon as I read it, I was like, cool, tucked up both my hands. I said, yeah, you're getting it. You ain't got nothing for me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just feeling all these things within myself, and I feel like I'm just progressing. And listen, the more fights I have and the longer it takes, the better I'll be. But I feel like I can take these guys now, and I'm just one of them guys. I'm full of belief, I'm full of confidence, and I actually like to fight. I like to fight, so I want one of these top guys. I know everyone's screaming for Hamza and that, but I'd fight him just because everyone's screaming for it, and it's kind of annoying me that everyone's pushing him in my face when I've done so much more than he has in this sport. But I'd fight him. But I mean, if you're asking me, I'd rather go European to world level next.
I just got a text from Shasti. She said, "Big up Denzel for me." Shasti,
Big
doing
up
the
Shasti,
camera
man.
work. Yeah, Shasti.
Hey, when that EP comes out, what Shasti's got loaded up, it's gonna be brazy.
Come on. All right, listen, Denz, keep shining, keep winning, keep going on your journey and your course. And thank you. I know you're going out, but thank you for jumping on the Fight Is Right.
Nah, man, big up yourself, Denz.
Thank you, man. No, thank you guys, man. Appreciate you, lot, man.
Success. Wishing nothing but continued success. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. The one, the only, Mr. Burner Boy, Denzel Washington Bentley.
Love.
Come on, big up,
Denz.
Love.
Yeah, man. Seriously, like I'm saying, just all the credit. Not only that, but it was 2 weeks ago. We was at an amateur show over in Tottenham for the Joel Morris Foundation. Joel, who passed away a few years ago, and Denzel donated £1,000 out of his own pocket. You know what I mean, to the kids who are boxing, and like he donated £1,000 to the kids. Denzel.
Hey, shit, care.
Yeah.
£1,000.
1,000, right? So, and it wasn't CD, right? So when you're seeing those kind of things there, I'm saying, like, just props to Denzel, good guy, Gave a really nice speech there as well. It was very touching. So I mean, it was very, very good, and I enjoy the fact that he's one of our youths. You know what I mean? He's
Yes.
he's one of the lads. So to see how he's growing right now, and he's stuck at it, because I remember when he came out second best against Felix Cash and how devastating he was. I said, bro, this is ups and downs, man. You just got to keep on being on it. And he was like, "Oh, unks, thanks, man." And to see what he's just done, he's got that tunnel vision. And sometimes you need a setback, because you know what the setback's there for. The setback is to set you up for the comeback, and he's come back so well. You know what I mean? Coming second best in a world title fight where people thought he was going to get knocked out in 1 or 2 rounds. You know what I mean? That was a general consensus. And he said, "Nah, brother." He went in there, he gave a good show, and now he's come back and he's saying, "Right, I want to defend I want to defend the British. I want it outright as well." And he's done it. And not only did he do it, he done it in spectacular fashion, Tundi.
Yeah, I mean, I really touched on what he just said last, in terms of his growth and his development, and the fact that he thought about the final shots before he actually hurt him. And this is what happens. It's what people have to understand about levels. He's been to the top of the mountain. He came up short, but he's got that. He's got that energy. He's taken on that whole aura of being at that top level, being in Las Vegas, and then coming back to the UK. And whoever fights him has to deal with that.
1,000,000%.
He's adopted that. And I'm telling you, as everyone knows, and as you know, I'm an energies person. And when I walked into the room the second time, Denzel had an energy coming from him, a spiritual energy coming from him. And I'm saying, bro, let me just get out this changing room quick before Denzel start throwing some shots at me. It was that focused. And listen, again, we can say so much about Denzel. Just a great guy, and we wish him continued success. But let's get back onto this Joe Joyce situation.
Yeah, let's get back onto it for real.
Yes.
Like I said, I did have a bit of a to and fro with Shane Watson, and I said, Shane, I understand you're emotional. And he said, yeah, I am emotional, but what you said, Spence, it was like,
what Spence? What have you got? You always winding up these money. You winding up the AJ man.
Listen to me, right? What I've noticed about boxing is this, yeah. What I've noticed about boxing is this: is like people are always, you gotta tread on eggshells on things that you're gonna say, especially like in your position. Like if you got a respected place in it, like people seemingly want to tread on eggshells. I'm not saying nothing to be controversial, Tundi. You know me; I just speak my mind. Right? I just speak my mind, and I'm gonna go back and say I didn't think that he should have entertained the questioning about Anthony Joshua, right? I don't think so, right? And I'm going to explain why even better now, because I've deliberated it in my mind. Because he said, well, Spencer, you don't even know if Joe Joyce is all right. Now, we don't know if he's all right. And like you said that.
What do you mean?
If he's all right, like health-wise, right? And I was saying, but he is all right, though. He's like, but you don't know that. I said, no, but he is all right. He goes, yeah, but. And I'm just saying, I just understand it. Its emotions are high in it. Joe Joyce has never lost before. Not only that, but to Shane Watson, I've done things for him. And he said, no, I can't believe, because you're one of the safest guys in boxing, Spence. You're not like certain man. He's calling certain man's name and and you know the family and everything. And so when you said that really hurt. But I said, but did you not listen to my interview? I did say that I really do believe that Joe Joyce can come back. I really do believe that Joe Joyce can win the rematch. But when emotions are running so high, it's just that one particular thing that you could say that people go and run with. But I'm saying this. Bottom line is this. People can take it how they want to take it. I know what I meant.
Yeah, I think, listen. I mean, I can speak for you, Spence, and maybe Shane is listening. Anything Spencer says is always coming from a good place. He literally, and he's not perfect. Like none of us are perfect. Sometimes you can say things, and again, one of the reasons why I don't judge people and so quick to judge them. You can say things, but knowing Spencer for as long as I've known him, I know this guy really loves boxing and talks the talk, and he walks the walk. He's always saying things, And if you listen carefully, you can actually, when you put the emotion aside, learn a lot from Spencer Fearon. Shane, I heard what you said to Spencer about people are this and that. Listen, bro, that's boxing. Boxing, when you're up, you're loved on a different level. The soon as you make what, and you know, people are always waiting for you to lose anyway. Or a certain amount of people. The first error, then you're gonna start to see the realness. That's why I say when Spencer says something that touches your emotion, it's you got to look at where it's coming from. It's the because there are people sitting down saying, "See, I told you Joe Joyce was rubbish. I told you weren't nothing." Bro, listen, you're talking to the man who knows this thing here firsthand. And Shane, yeah, as Capo Boxing says, bun them man there. You get me? And you really have to bun it. And you know what? If you're made of anything solid, you say, all right, you say what I say. Well, first of all, you block them out of your life. But you say what I say. All right, cool. Bro, we'll just watch. Because next time around, I'm going to show you what this is about. You know, listen, the great people are made of particular stuff which others haven't got. And I believe Joe Joyce and all of you guys, Adam, you, Shane, and the rest of the gang, you can come back from this. And Joe, even at the age of 37 years old, can make adjustments and win the rematch. That's what I believe.
Men All Talk, thank you so much for the £20. Big up, family. The Knowledge Spencer Fearon and Baba Tundi, the master strategist. Peace and love, family. Big up Denzel. Hopefully he gets the Feelish Catch rematch. Shout out to Jollof Joe. He will come back stronger. Peace.
Man, Jermaine Williams was so upset, bro. He's like, bro, calling man Jollof Joe Rice, yeah? Bro, man was like rice pudding last night. Man's calling Jollof Joe rice pudding. I'm like, bro, you see what I'm saying about you, man? Here? Bro, so what? He's allowed to. Jollof Joe is still Jollof Rice Joe. He's not rice pudding.
Listen to me, yeah?
Come on.
You know, the old adage of styles really do make fights. If it was somebody else in there, maybe Jollof Joe wouldn't have had that trouble. But what it was like, this man here had just gave him trouble. And not only that, it is the truth for like usually Joe is the bigger guy in fights and he's punching down. But yeah, let's look at it like this. In the Carlos Takam fight, Jollof Joe struggled as far as I was concerned.
Yeah, another thing, 444 on the live.
Oh, that's wicked. Big up every single one of you.
Please press the like and subscribe button. That's a serious number, 444. If you don't know, Google.
You better get to know. You better get to know.
But yeah, you know, and it's the thing, you know, hard fights they culminate in what's the word? You know, a loss of something in the next fight. And let's not forget the Parker fight was a hard fight. It was a hard fight. Joe,
it was a hard fight.
Took a lot, you know, the Takam fight, as you said, you know, he was, you know, struggling a bit. And Joe's been having hard fights and taking shots. And this is where it is. Like we've credited Joe for his whole career of having this granite chin. But as we've always said, Spencer, and as we said prior to the fight, if you keep on taking shots, the art of boxing is to hit and not get hit. So Marvin Hagler had a great chin, but you weren't really touching it as much as you would have liked.
You wasn't. And not only that, people seem to forget how, and he was a southpaw, right? Even though he switch and go right hand, but he was mainly a left. He was mainly a lefty. Marvin Hagler was an incredible boxer, not giving dues for. He was a fantastic boxer. You don't believe me?
There you go.
Just go watch his 2 fights with Mustafa Hamshaw, who was rough and tumble. And that's how he just moved them and he set up openings and just jabbed your head off. Marvin Hagler was an excellent boxer who could fight when he had to fight.
Yes, exactly.
And I think this is something that maybe needs to be employed by Joe Joyce, that you need to fight when you only have to fight.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And not only that, these I'm just gonna be real on the technical breakdowns, right? Because I'm gonna be real. Because if it's anybody else, I'll be saying the same thing. It doesn't matter. Like, I know Joe Joyce. I was very thankful for being in his mother's documentary as well, and stuff like that, right? And it's not me in being smart, because I got a lot of time for Joe Joyce, just like Joe Joyce got a lot of time for the fighters, right, and the people that come on the show, right? But there was no offline movement. Not once did I see him go offline. Everything was straight lines. Everything he was doing in that fight was straight lines.
Well,
Right?
not in the beginning. I disagree with you a little bit there. Not in the beginning. After, I think, the second or third round, it changed.
He got wobbled in the second round, Ton.
Yeah. But he did start it. So there was an obvious game plan at the beginning. But again, it's for the fighter to stick to the game plan. And maybe Joe just, after getting that, as you called it, a wobble in the second round, blood just rushed to his head, and he, listen. Let me just deal with this. Godfather of Boxing says, "Did you notice Joe Joyce is already talking punch up?"
No,
lie.
listen.
Wait, let me finish. Lie. And all we need to do is go and listen to the Gareth A. Davis interview after.
Very coherent human beings.
Very, very well spoken, and articulate in his assessment of how the fight went.
And humble, Tundi.
And very humble. And so,
very humble.
Godfather of Boxing, that's not the case, my man. That's not the case. Joe is a great fighter. And, listen, with boxing is a culmination. And usually you see that at the end of their careers. But for now,
exactly,
Joe's very coherent.
Bobby Wright, thank you for the 449.
Let me get that up there. Or Manny, get that up there, please. Spence, you want to read that?
Spence, that's why I love your interviews, because you keep it real. And like Tundi said, it's coming from a good place. You know what? This is what I'm trying. You know what? I'm going to be totally real with you, right? I don't care how people want to take it, because I know what I meant. I don't care. And especially the thing about it is this, is like, I'm definitely not going to care. You're not feeding me. You're not clothing me. You're not housing me. You're not looking after my children. You're not paying for my car. I don't care how people want to take it, because what I've realized over recent, it's like a lot of, but Spence, you said this, but Spence, you said that. And I get this from, because like I'm close to many people, they're all in my black book, right? But I have to give an honest opinion. I can't be doing this. A lot of man does do these little overbreeding thing. I'm not doing it. I can't do it. Seriously, I'm not trying to be malicious. I'm not trying to be vindictive. I'm just, listen, as a man of boxing, and when any of them man has watched more boxing or studied more boxing than me, they can come talk to me. But within this time now, as I'm saying on certain things, when I'm giving an opinion on certain things, people, what I've noticed that a lot of people, like Tony said, he went into Denzel Bentley's change room and he felt the energy, right? People, seemingly, certain people are throwing away, right? Or disassociating themselves from the spiritual aspect of boxing, right? And when I'm saying that boxing is so spiritual, if you disassociate from the spirit, the man who's fighting you will come in with a spirit. And you could call it quantum physics, you could call it the placebo effect, whatever you want to call it. You call it God, Allah, Jesus, I don't care what you say it, but we all go under a certain guidance. When you're up against an opponent that is saying Chinese power, right? Any Chinese man, Tundi, you could have gone down West End Chinatown yesterday. They were watching the fight. I'm telling you this now, right? When you're hearing a man say Chinese power, he is affiliating and also incorporating that energy from those people. They're backing you. I'm telling you, I know how this thing goes. So people going to listen to what I'm saying, and my people say, "Oh, what you going on about?" But I know how this thing is. This guy he drew in that energy. Joe Joyce was drawing up from an energy, right? And he comes second best simply because he was up against a sneaky southpaw, Manton.
TPG said the Chinese man's herbs are different. Chinese man's herbs are different, fam. Nah, listen, I told you already. When I talk, people don't listen. I told you that I was in the lift in the Talk Sports studios. When ZHANG came in, everybody was silent, Spence. The man had the power of the man, yeah. Everyone was silent. The coach was there, AY was there, Joe was there, everyone was there, yeah. And I had to break the silence. I touched him. I said, Chinese power. The whole lift started crack up and laugh because the man knows what time it is. And that's the kind of energy we're talking about.
Nah, Tunde, you're a sellout, bro. You're a sellout.
No. I'm giving the man a recognition to what's going on. I know what's going on. And I'm telling you, the man had an energy about him, man. Listen, whether you want to believe what Spence is saying about the spiritual aspects of the sport, it's totally down to you. We're all spiritual beings. We're all energy beings. And as I say, ZHANG is a great fighter technically. He's got an aura about him, or he definitely had an aura about him, which the fact that you can't understand what he's saying as well and you need an interpreter. Again, it's like when these men are talking and you're sitting there, you're standing there in the lift, you're like, bro, I wonder what they're saying about me. You don't know what he's saying. And forget about Prince Patel, man. I ain't even chatting about that, brother. I ain't chatting about that, brother. But he's definitely a good fighter. You know, the spiritual aspect aside, and a great fighter. And we just hope Joe can come back in the rematch, hopefully in September, if that's what he decides to do. I can't see many people taking on Joe just for taking him on sake. I feel that they would want something to be on the line if they're going to fight, because I think we all know and everyone knows that Joe Joyce is still a force to be reckoned with in the heavyweight division. He just had one of those nights.
Put up Rob Myers' comment. Rob
Meyer, can you get it before me, Manny? Rob Meyer, I think this is it. Has Joe's got Tommy Brooks? No, he might just need to adjust to readjust. Yeah, maybe. Again, it has been said, let's not downplay the skill of ZHANG, a skilled fighter, a man that has only lost once with one draw. He's based in America now with Sean George, and he looks to be improving. Tonight was last night was his night. Unfortunately, it wasn't Joe's night, but I know Joe's going to come back. I know Joe has got a silent determination, a silent will, and regardless of what happened last night, I do believe Joe Joyce will come back in flying colors. Stamina for So Manny has asked, people going for Joyce, for a Joyce mum's question, please be mindful that she is a blind woman and she may not have known the visible extent of the eye damage. Manny.
Thank you very much. And I want to take this as well. Joe Joyce's mother is a beautiful human being. I'm just letting you know that now. You know what I mean? Beautiful human being who backs her son. So on the mom questions, just be careful, because I got, Tunde, you know me already, and Tunde's saying I get funny over these mom question things. You know what I mean? You could be my enemy, but you could be my enemy. A man talk about your mom, I don't like it. That's how I roll.
Trust me. So yeah. So and as I said, Joe just said, "Mom, listen, man, it was beautiful seeing the way his mom was holding him in the ring after." Listen, man, these are men, these are human beings, man, and this is why I'm saying the disrespect sometimes it's a madness. It's a madness. You got to respect these guys. And yeah, we're fans. Yeah, we all got opinions. Yeah, we all have something to say, and a lot of us are really wise after the event. But let's just remember, this is a sport where individuals are just trying to make a better life for themselves and their families. So big up Joe. I'm still rolling with Jollof Joe. And what's next for him? I know people have spoken about the AJ versus Joyce match, which would be a good match. Would be a good match at this stage. But what would they be fighting for, those Spence?
They wouldn't be fighting for anything. So it makes no sense. Even they wouldn't be fighting for anything. So
that's what I'm trying to say.
There's no reason for these men to end up fighting each other at all.
Definitely.
I'm just gonna be real. There's no reason. You know what I mean? At all. There's no reason for these men to say they're going out to fight each other.
One last question, Spence. At the age of 37, we saw how long it took Dylan to get back in the mix. what really, this is why I say he has to take the rematch.
Yeah,
He has to get back that belt, get back that position. This is the whole point of rematch clauses. I know, but a lot of people don't like seeing these rematches, but you have to, because that's the nature of the game. We're looking to get back in these positions. Unless you're becoming a YouTuber boxer, there's not many chances and opportunities that come along. So I feel that, and the rematch will sell. It will sell because it's kind of like a redemption for Joe Joyce. Again, one which I feel he can fully reclaim. And Joe, I'm gonna say it again, he's got our support in its entirety. So let's see Joe getting back to where he was, and or it may be that Zhang is just better than him, but he should be given the chance to find out again. Spence.
yep. Most definitely, most definitely. Also, got to say a big up. Just got a message in from my guy. Let me just big up my guy Luca. I mean, top man. Got to send him out a big up because he's just watching the show right now. He just sent it over to me. So I mean, this is mad on the support because he's not even in this country, ton. I mean,
Come on.
yeah, runs a legal firm. What's it? Keystone Law over. I've forgotten the country where he's from. Shame on me. But like, yeah. So Joe Joyce. Here is the alignment because I know we like to keep it in an hour, so we're gonna jump off soon, right? But here what I'm saying is this, like, ton. Joe Joyce better be careful of not falling into the David Price scenario when he lost to Tony Thompson. Then he took the rematch straight after and made some adjustments. And I remember they even tried to bring Lennox Lewis in and all the rest of it. And they tried to make readjustments and he still came second best. I think the adjustments that Joe Joyce needs to make, if he just can incorporate some head movement and not try and trade on the toughness, because he's still a tough guy, because like his face swelled up really bad. His eye went badly to that. The right eye went badly. If he could just make those adjustments, which I was saying prior to the fight anyway, on certain adjustments, but it still makes it for an exciting fight. But just make some little adjustments in there, and everything needs to come off of a double jab. And he was waiting a little bit too long, and Zhang was going for it because Zhang knew, like, they knew something, ton. That Chinese brother.
I don't. I hear you say double jab. I don't want to get all technical, but Spence, boxing is not complicated. If he's throwing the left, you throw the right. Bro, it's not complicated. This ain't no, I don't know. It don't need no breakdown thing. It's just he's throwing the left, you throw the right. Simple. It's simple mathematics. Hey, bro, it's not complicated. I don't feel you need to go to America. I just keep telling about these men thinking they need to fly to America. Bro, adjust to readjust. Common sense. If you're standing in front of someone, it's just opposite. They throw left, you throw right. You throw right, I throw left. Bro, basic things. Basic. So, listen, I don't know why people try to overcomplicate a not complicated sport. You only got 2 arms and 2 legs, Spence. It ain't rocket science, mate. It's just about being able to stick to a plan. Brother. Yeah, man, that's called me Tundi Einstein, but really it's not no Einstein behavior. It's just what makes boxing so hard is the concentration aspect and the fact that you have to be able to be so focused to stick to a game plan, even when someone does something which is not what you was expecting. Sticking to that game plan, and then hopefully, if it's your night, you'll win. If not, you get an opportunity to try again. Spence, as you said, we don't want to keep on going. But
Yeah, we don't.
All respect to Joe Joyce. A massive big up. Congratulations to Zhang. Fantastic victory for you and the team last night. And we wish you all the best, but we really want you to come over here to get broke up by Joe Joyce again in the rematch, because we're backing our old man. So come on, that's all I have to say. Big up Joe Joyce, and I hope you do make the adjustments. I hope you take this as a learning lesson, not a defeat. And come back next week. We have a spectacular fight, one which I'm still not gonna get too overexcited until I see these man walk into the ring, which is Ryan Garcia versus Javonte Tank Davis. What a contest we have next week, Saturday. No matter what time of the night it is, Spence, we have to do the watch along.
Tunde, I don't business what time it is. Anyway, and when that fight does come in, Ramadan's done, bruv. So yeah, I mean, I'm so looking forward to that fight. I think this week we should do ways to win, because this is a massive fight, Tunde. We have to pay homage to a fight of this magnitude. It's an excellent fight. I still can't believe it's happening. I really like Tunde. I'm waiting for something to happen this week, but no, I don't want to put my mouth on it. I'm so looking forward to this fight. I'm excited. I'm so excited for this fight, Tunde. And this is we're hearing rumors that they could be making an announcement of Errol Spence and Terence Crawford after that fight. That's the talk.
It'd definitely be a good place to announce the fight when the world's eyes are going to be on this fight. But I've heard that so many times as well. So.
Oh, come on, man. Anyway, big up Ralph Dawkins as well, always supporting the show. Big up everyone that's been there. Country Don, Papa Hunter, Jermaine Williams, Steve Bailey. There's too much people on air. You know what I mean? Checkmate. Sugar Ray 29. Timing is everything. TP. You know what I mean? Raw. RDF Films. Big up yourself. So many people. Lucan. I'm just so grateful for every single person that's jumped on this. Too many. Bobby Wright's our guy. So many people jumped on.
Philip, as I said, we never touched on the heavyweight tournament.
Yeah, you know why?
Let's go to quarter past. Thank you. Almost 500 people with us live, Spence. This is incredible, man.
I'm grateful for this.
This is incredible. Let's touch on that heavyweight tournament for the last till quarter past.
Cool.
They're talking about Usyk versus Fury, AJ versus Wilder, with the two winners fighting each other. And I wouldn't even mind seeing the two losers fight each other as well.
Tunde, that's what I think should happen. Now, let's go historically. If we go back to 1986, when HBO started the tournament, you had Larry Holmes, Michael Spinks, Trevor Burbeck, Pinkland Thomas. Yeah, Pinkland Thomas, Tony Tubbs. All of these men were in a tournament. It started off Frank Bruno. Frank Bruno versus Timberwolves was the fight that actually started off. A lot of people don't know that. That happened out in Wembley. Unfortunately, Frank Bruno got stopped in, what was it, 11 rounds he got stopped in? Yeah. Right. From then, we have not seen a tournament regarding heavyweights of that level where it's been world titles involved in it, right? Even though it's lesser men, but it's the biggest lesser men of what you could get. You got Tyson Fury, the undefeated Gypsy King, who holds a WBC and Ring Magazine belt. Then you have Alexander Usyk, who is the IBF, WBO, and WBA champion, super champion, right? So those two are due to fight each other, right? And then Anthony Joshua, former unified heavyweight champion, is meant to fight former WBC champion in Deontay Wilder. Then the winner of those two fights are meant to end up fighting each other. As Sonny just said, the losers, I would like to see them fight, because I think the losers could end up going on and still fighting the person who is the champion, because it's that juicy. Now, we know that skill challenge, and Amir Abdullah has worked closely with the Crown Prince, Prince Khalid, from Skill Challenge. So they're trying to make this happen. Even though the announcement was made at the time of JOE JOYCE's fight, but that is something that is mouth-watering. So it was first broken by Simon Jordan, him saying that he heard it on TalkSport. But I heard the kind of same thing as well, but indirectly, because Derek Chisora said, listen, you will never believe what we're trying to put together. You, with all your knowledge, you will never be able to guess it. I'm not saying nothing to you. But that was enough. Then the next day I heard this thing by Simon Jordan.
Yeah. All right.
Well, something's going on. So how do you think that would go, Tunde? We only got like a minute.
I mean, we could end up seeing Usyk versus AJ again. Or we could end up seeing Wilder versus Fury again. Or we could end up seeing the fight what we've wanted for so long, which is Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua. Because Anthony Joshua could be, I don't care, it could be Deontay Wilder. Who knows? who really knows? We are at that stage again in heavyweight boxing where there's only really two outstanding champions, only two that are unbeaten, and that's Alexander Usyk and Tyson Fury. So, but other than that, they're all great fights in the heavyweight divisions, ones that I really look forward to. Spence, let's
who
wrap
do
it
you
up.
think? Who do you think would win the competition, then?
The winner of Tyson Fury versus Usyk will be the eventual winner of the whole competition.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, what a great show. Fantastic having Denzel with us tonight. We wish Zilly and ZHANG all the best. We wish JOE Joyce all the best.
Joe's gonna come back.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
that's standard.
Right, he's gonna come back. He needs some more Pepe. He needs some more Pepe in the Jollof.
Thank you everyone for joining us. It's been absolutely amazing having you all with us, giving up your precious time that you'll never get back. Do remember, like, comment, and subscribe. Ladies and gentlemen, we end the show exactly how we started it, with the wonderful words of dream it, believe it, become it.
Coming up, peace, two fingers. We are out. Have a fantastic, pleasant week this week. And remember, keep it positive, because when they go low, you go high.
There you go. Love that.